Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Platinum. I'm in a very, very good and nostalgic mood right now. And by the way, there is a reason why I'm not showing my team right now, is because we have someone in there that probably shouldn't be here. Well, I shouldn't say probably shouldn't be here, but hasn't been here before. Now, I'm really hoping that I can get through this area without Rock Smash or Defog. I'm not sure if I can. But basically, I'm going to be skipping the Mount Coronet section for now. I might go through later, I'm not really too sure. But in all honesty, in my eyes, it's not really worth it. This right here, this is my favorite place to be in any game I've ever played, ever. And I really love it here. There's not really a particular reason why. It's just sort of... I really love the atmosphere that they created in this area. This is the quintessential Pokemon Diamond and Pearl area for me. When I first saw previews of this game, I saw this ice area and I was like, oh my god, this looks so cool. And I really thought that this was going to be like the best area ever. And a lot of people really hate on this area because you move slowly and you can't ride on your bike. And it's sort of a little bit of a pain in the ass to get through. But in all honesty, I really love it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it whatsoever. I think this is one of the best created areas of all time in any game. And this is definitely my favorite area in any Pokemon game. I believe this route in particular is the reason why I like whenever it's snowing or anything outside, whenever like it's really cold or wet or anything, I believe this route is the reason why I like to play video games when it's snowy. And sort of this last week, I know I'm recording this like really far in advance because I think part 22 went up yesterday and part 23 is going up tomorrow. And this is 31. So this is pretty far in advance, but I really just wanted to get to this section of the game because I haven't mentioned anything so far in the LP, and I don't know why I haven't, but this is hands down like my favorite area in any game because they perfectly captured the northern snowy atmosphere that I've come to grow up in and love my entire life. Except I lived on Vancouver Island. Actually, I lived basically in areas where we didn't really get a lot of snow for the first 7 or 8 years of my life. And once we moved to Alberta, we moved up near Edmonton, we started seeing a lot more snow. I mean, we still got snow when we lived on Vancouver Island, actually quite a bit. I think there was one year when we went on vacation and it started snowing, and I think we got like 2 feet of snow in the course of like 2 days, which is a lot of snow. But we didn't get as much there as we did up near Edmonton, and we don't get as much here as we do up near Edmonton. And the weird thing about weather where I live in Calgary is that it's constantly changing, especially in the winter. The weather changes so often, it is just absolutely ridiculous. We get these things called Chinooks, and I don't know if anybody knows what they are, but basically they're warm drafts of wind that come over the Rocky Mountains, and you don't get them really in Edmonton. I mean, every once in a while you'll get one if it's like a really strong Chinook, but it usually dissipates by the time it gets to Edmonton. And we were east of Edmonton, so yeah, like it's even more dissipated by the time it gets there. But we always get these Chinooks, and basically it'll be random days in the middle of winter, and it'll be like minus 25 one day, and then the next day it'll be like plus 20. Like, it's just ridiculous how fast the weather changes and how rapidly it changes. And it's a really cool weather effect because basically you'll get like these really warm days in the middle of winter, and you'll get this feeling like if you live in Edmonton where you're in like the dead of winter, and it's like, oh my goodness, like this is completely desolate and really hard to like not get depressed in. And then suddenly a Chinook rolls in and it's warm and all the snow is melting, and some years even like all the snow gets off the ground. This is the Pokemon that actually made me fall in love with this generation too. This is Snover, and I don't really know why it did. I'm pretty sure it was just the typing, because with the new Pokemon game, Fire Red and Leaf Green sort of revived the Pokemon series for me, because with Ruby and Sapphire, I was never really a huge fan of those games. I was a huge fan of Fire Red and Leaf Green, though. I think I played through those games probably like 15 times, and I don't really get sick of them. Like, I do a little bit, but yeah. But I I was sort of thinking like, oh, there's not really anything they can do new to the Pokemon series now because they're starting to remake the games. And then Diamond and Pearl came out, and I looked through the list of Pokemon because it was released in Japan like a long time before North America. I think it was like 6 or 7 months, and I saw there was an ice grass type, and I just looked at that and I thought that was so unique that I really, really wanted one. And my first playthrough, I caught one, but I never used it, and that was a shame because I sort of want to use one, but the big issue with it is it's weak to like 7 types, and it's quad weak to like 3 types, and it's just like it's a really mediocre Pokemon, in all honesty. And I mean, there's Mega Abomasnow, which is arguably better, but it's also got like 30 base speed, which is just ridiculously slow, and I'm pretty sure Pierre is gonna die here, but whatever. But yeah, it was just like, I saw it as a very, very unique Pokemon, and that's most of the reason why I love this generation so much, is this area right here. Like, hands down, as I said, my favorite area in any Pokemon game I've ever played, and it is just fantastically done. But I don't understand why people don't like it. It's just one of those like weird anomalies to me, and I'm gonna try and put Turtry out as much as I can in battles, because it's gonna probably fall behind a little bit in levels in this upcoming area, because it's quad weak to ice, and this is like an ice area. And really, I think the thing that I love so much about this is like, A, they did it so well. Like, they did the ice area so well in this game, and B, they hadn't really done an area like this before in a Pokemon game. And Pierre's dead. I forgot to revive him. But they'd never really done an area like this before in a Pokemon game, so it's kind of a shame that they haven't really done one since. I guess they sort of did in X and Y, and I sort of did in Black and White, I think. I'm not really too sure. It was weird in Black and White because they had like this area that was considered to be cold, but I don't remember there being any signs of it actually being cold out. Like, usually they'll have like snow or like ice everywhere, and it'll be like this area that's like really, 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 really desolate like this, and it's just sort of like snow and everything for miles and miles and miles. But in Black and White, it was just like, it sort of seemed like a town that was like, everybody just said it was cold, and there was an ice type gym, and that was basically it. Which seems so weird to me that they would do something like that, because it really didn't fit in at all. And that's sort of the reason why I don't like Black and White that much, is because they didn't really do that much of disparity with environments. This game does a very, very good job changing up environments and stuff like that. Like, there's a desert area in the post-game. There's this area that's like all nice and snowy. There's like beaches and stuff like that. And like, there's such a diverse environment in Sinnoh, and that's why I love this region so much, is because it's so diverse. And I don't really think a lot of people have taken the time to appreciate this region for what it is. And a lot of people never really played Platinum itself, so they never really got a chance to see like what was so great about this region, which is a real shame. Do I have any revives? Please tell me I have revives. Oh dear God, I don't think I have any I don't have any revives. Oh my God. Oh no, I have 14. Never mind, I skipped over it twice. I just wasn't looking. Also, I'm gonna have to figure out how to blur sections of the video so that you guys don't see what it is the extra Pokemon in my party. I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing for this one. And that's my main problem with like this LP in general, is that I have to do so much editing that it's ridiculous how much editing I do for this LP in comparison to some of my others. That's why I really like DK64, is because I basically sat right down and played the game, and it was like, bam, you're good to go. And this is Sneasel, by the way. This Pokemon was originally on my team. I'm gonna say that right now. And I changed it up because because of a comment on one of my videos. And I'll explain once we get the 6th member of our team finally. But until it evolves, I'm not gonna show what it is. Like, until it's like literally evolving. And yeah, like, I don't know. It's It's really weird. I'm trying not to say what it is. I'm trying not to spoil it, but at the same time, like, it's probably not that much of a secret, because if you look through my old comments, you could probably figure out what it is, or probably could have figured out what it is, like, a while ago. Snowbound Land Lodge. Yes, this is basically like a resting area, which makes this a very good place to grind in this game. Basically, you can fight a few of those ace trainers, like, right at the start of the route, and go and battle them over and over and over again, and then you'll be fine and good to go. And a lot of these trainers I really like because they have very unique Pokemon. I mean, you get the skier people who are on skis, and they're very obvious by their sprites what type of trainers they are. But you have a lot of ace trainers in this area, and as a result, you get a lot of trainers that have all these really unique Pokemon, like this guy. Like, you wouldn't really expect in an ice area to see a Mr. Mime, and hopefully this kills it, because, yes, thank God. That's the main reason for having Sucker Punch, is for Psychic types, because Pierre is basically defenseless against Psychic types if I don't have Sucker Punch. Unfortunately, there's a lot of normal types that know Psychic type moves, so... Oh wait, this thing knows Rock Tomb. What am I doing? Like, I'm nuts here. Why am I trying to, like, switch out? I was gonna switch to Tertiary, and then I was kind of thinking, like, oh, wait, Tertiary's not gonna be able to do it. Holy crap. I forgot about Slash, like, being a very, very good move. But yeah, I sort of find when I go through regions like this, like places that I really like, that the video seems to go a lot faster, and like I get a lot more done, which is kind of weird because like you'd think like if you don't like an area, then you'd probably want to get through it as fast as you can. But like I find that like whenever I go into a region, like into an area in a game where I really dislike the area, it takes forever for me to get through it. Like for example, just to the east of Vale, to the west of Veilstone, sorry, I'm getting my directions mixed up. There's that route with like the rain and like all the fighting trainers and that dude with the Bronzor that I hated so much. I don't remember what part I went through there, and I think it was 16 maybe, I don't really know. But that route that I said that was my least favorite one, and it still is, by the way, it's still my least favorite route. That I felt like it took forever to get through, but this one, like, I'm not even cutting out any of the battles, and it feels like I'm getting through here so fast. I'm probably going to try and, like, stay here for longer. I'm probably not going to cut out any of the battles, just because I love this area so much. And, like, my favorite Pokemon type is Ice types. I'm just going to say that right now. My three favorite types are the three Elemental types, I like to think of them as. So there's Fire types, Electric types, and Ice types. And I think I really like those types because they're all really good special attackers, usually. And I really like special attackers. Like, I don't know, it always feels like if you have a good special attacker, that it always, like, kills Pokemon a lot easier than if you have a good physical attacker. And a lot of good special attackers also happen to be really fast. Like, for example, probably something, I can't think of anything. Actually, all the special attackers that I'm thinking of are slow. Because I'm thinking of, like, I don't know, Porygon 2 or something like that. Porygon 2 is a good special attacker, but it's not necessarily fast. It's also not necessarily slow. Oh, hey, look, it's the 4th gym leader, also known as the 3rd gym leader, also known as Maylene. Oh, Kevdog. Are you on your way to Snowpoint City? That's where I'm going too. I can use Fly. I can get there instantly, but I'm walking for my training. I have no problem with this. I'm used to the cold because I go barefoot and lightly dressed. Achoo! Oh, that was nothing. Really, I'm not cold at all. I'll be going now. Please take care. That was definitely a sign of, like, it's cold out. And I do that all the time during winter. It's like, I have this friend. His name is Ignacio. And every time I see him, he, like, it's always, like, really cold out or I'm really in a hurry. And he always wants to stop and talk for, like, forever. And I always feel bad because I like the guy. But at the same time, like, every time I happen to run into him, I'm always, like, really in a hurry to get somewhere. So, yeah, it kind of complicates things that way. This cold is but nothing compared to the fire that burns my heart, and the passion that burns in my heart for ice areas. I didn't really get into why I really love ice areas, though. Ice is my favorite type, as I said, and I don't know, it just always seems like such a quaint environment, and you feel, like, it makes you feel cozy where you are. It feels more immersive, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Because, like, if you're trying to immerse yourself in a game, it's the environment that does it more so than anything else. Oh, that did a lot of damage. I'm going to lose to this Electabuzz if this doesn't one-shot him. Which, it didn't one-shot him. Crap. Well, whatever. It's not a big deal. I have 2 ground types, and both of them no ground type moves, so this shouldn't be a huge problem. I was really hoping you'd use, like, Thunder Shock or something like that. But anyways, whenever I get really immersed in a game, I always feel like I'm in the environment, but I also feel like the weather is sort of like where I'm playing the game. So for example, if I'm playing this game here, I'm thinking, holy crap, it's warm here in comparison to like where it is. And like I sort of think of myself in this nice warm little bubble while everything around me is like really cold and it's really snowy and it's really blizzardy. And I always sort of think like, wow, this is really cool just to sit outside and watch this. And I've always really loved the snow. Ever since I was a kid, I've always loved playing in the snow. Even now, I mean, I built a snowman a couple weeks ago, for God's sakes. Well, last week, actually. But I built a snowman, like, last week, and I'm 21. Like, how many 21-year-olds do you know that actually go out and build a snowman? Would you like to build a snowman? That's the only line I know from that movie. So you'd think that I'd be, like, in love with the movie Frozen, because it's, like, wintry environment, and it's all about, like, winter and stuff like that. But I've never seen it, and I really don't have any interest in seeing it. Mostly because, like, whenever I would watch TV shows as a kid, my parents would always walk into the room while they're doing, like, a song and a cartoon, and they'd be like, oh, that's so stupid. And I would sort of think the same thing. Like, whenever they do songs, like a musical number in a cartoon, it always seems so dumb to me, like, whenever they do it, because it never fits the situation, and if you take it out of context, it's just, like, really, really awkward. So, yeah, but I don't know, I just really like ice areas, okay? That's all I'm trying to get at here. That's really all I'm trying to say. Now I'm pretty sure I could evolve the Pokemon that I want to evolve. If you know anything about Pokemon, or like anything about how certain Pokemon evolve, like, you would probably know what the Pokemon is that I'm trying to get here, but I don't know. Here we get a blue shard. You actually get the HM rock climb just laying in this route, which is kind of weird. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere along the left side. I'm probably not going to battle all the trainers in here just because it's really difficult to find them all, and I'm not really willing to go like super out of my way to try and go and get like all of these trainers out of the way. I usually don't go through and battle all the trainers, but I usually, like, sometimes I'll just turn on this game and walk towards the ice area and just, like, go and hang out in the ice area in this game. Like, just because it's such a well-done environment. And I don't know, I don't really know how to describe why it's so great, but it just is. It's one of those places in games, like for example, sailing around in the Wind Waker. It's one of those things that if you watch it, it's probably pretty boring. But if you're doing it, it's like, wow, this is fucking awesome. Like, I really love sailing around in Wind Waker, even though it's one of those things that's like, not really super, like, you wouldn't think it's fun at all. I thought there was something here. I'll just check my dowsing machine. Let's see. No, I'm standing right on top of something. I just gotta not move there. Okay, we got a nugget. And with that, I think I'm going to end the video there. Thank you guys very much for watching, and next time, we will continue through the ice area and hopefully get the 6th member of our team. Bye!